Hello, welcome to Lemon Studios, where we talk movies, television, and wrestling. I'm, of course, Lemon himself, Zeke Lemon, and that is Crash, who just went away. And this is my review for Daredevil Born Again, Season 2, Episode 5. But before we get into that, let's get the house clean out of the way. Share them to leave a like. Comment below, let me know your thoughts on Daredevil Born Again. And, of course, hit that subscribe button as it helps me grow into my YouTube career. I'll greatly appreciate it. Now, all that out of the way, let's get into it, shall we? So, Daredevil. We have been talking for the past few weeks that this show has just really been topping each other week after week after week. I really hate how my hair is deciding to fall through. Yeah, every week we have said every episode has really topped itself, and we've heard that after episode 3 the show really picks up and everything tops itself. So to say the expectations were high going into episode 5 are quite frankly a real understatement, right? And after watching it, I will say, to me personally, out of the 5, it is 5. Now, again, I say this because I did my immediate reaction on TikTok, which is what I usually do. Go to Lemon Reviews. If you want my immediate thoughts, like as soon as the episode is over, I basically click record, right? And I said what I'm basically going to say here is that, because I rewatched it again, now knowing what to expect throughout of it, because I had some different expectations going into it. I thought Vanessa will be confirmed to be killed at the top of it, and we are just going to get Kingpin mayhem all the way through. And as viewers, sometimes with what we expected to happen, if that doesn't happen, then automatically it kind of deteriorates our experience. But overall, in my immediate thoughts, I said there's a lot of great stuff in here. I'm just not a fan of flashback episodes. I am more about moving forward. Even, last year's episode 5, I think it was episode 5, where it was filler, right? The story didn't move forward, but it stayed in the present time. I am one of the very few people who actually really like that episode. And here, I am one of the few because, boy, someone in the comments was really mad at me for my thoughts on this. One of the very few who didn't necessarily love this episode. I loved seeing Foggy again. I loved the flashbacks. I like how, the aspect ratio was like the Netflix series. I didn't think we would necessarily do that. And again, I even said this in my thoughts as well. It's probably something that we should just bring back and make it, and make it the norm, for that matter. The de-aging was a little weird to me, I will say, but it did look good for what it was. They actually did look their age when the show first started, so I did appreciate that. And I love the debates that we had throughout the episode, especially between Foggy and Matt, of like, well, we should get him out because he's gonna die. Well, I don't know, man. He was in the mob. He did all these bad things. I saw how he treated you. Quite frankly, justice is served, and if that's how it's served, then that's how it's served. I don't know. And that constant back and forth, that was really, really engaging to see. Even the briefness that we saw with Fisk, and I just said her name. I cannot remember Fisk's wife's name now, even though I literally said it right off the top of this episode. But seeing how they first met and how it comes down to this art piece, which I do think they retconned a little bit. I haven't watched the Netflix show in quite some time, but I'm pretty sure Vanessa, that's her name. It just hit me. But I'm pretty sure we saw how Vanessa and Fisk met in the television show, but I could be wrong there. But yeah, that was also really interesting to see. And even in the stuff that we did in the current time, Bullseye and at having their back and forth throughout the whole entire way, and how Foggy's words just keep echoing between Matt, because Matt is more than willing to let this man die, but he also has guilt for it because he did try to kill him when Foggy died. So there was this like constant he was torn throughout the whole entire way. And that ending button when Karen sees him with Bullseye, and she just wants him dead because he killed her friend. So that'll be interesting to see next week. It's just overall, I was ready to just move forward all the way through, even with Buck and the one guy who's not gonna make it past this season. I didn't think we would kill him in this week's episode either, because Vanessa's gonna go, then we have to wait a little bit until we get to the next one for sure. Maybe episode 7 he can roll out, but also seeing him in peril, like, look, I didn't do anything. You know, he's not trying to rat BB out by any means. And he's like, yeah, no, I'm just testing. You know, we're just gonna bury this body. We're gonna see how much you can really keep your word. And we'll see if he is able to, because if this gets slipped out, then he's gonna have to go. And even though he's not the leak, he is the leak, right? So that was interesting to see as well. I was just ready to get to that mayhem. And again, when rewatching the episode and taking it at face value, knowing what it was going to be, did I enjoy it a little bit more? Absolutely. But again, does that rank it above these other episodes? No, not to me personally. And that doesn't necessarily mean a bad thing. I don't know why. Some people were so upset with me when they're like, man, Bros B won this, and then they get it, and then they trash on it. I didn't trash on it whatsoever, and I'm still not trashing on it. I still enjoyed the episode. But, you know, again, if we're going to use the baseball analogy, what we typically do, if episode 1 was a triple, episode 2 was a home run, and episode 3 was a home run, if we've had nothing but triples and home runs this whole entire season, and this was a double, then yes, out of all of the hits that we have had, because every episode has been a hit, this one has the least amount of value, but still in scoring position for later on. So again, I feel like this whole review has kind of turned into me playing defense for TikTok when I should just be commenting back. But yeah, again, a lot of great stuff when it comes to this episode. There's a lot of things I think we could take away, and I think that will have a good play as we move forward within the following weeks. I was just ready to get to some mayhem, and I think next week we'll finally get to that. I want to see Fisk on a complete loose cannon. I want him to be like, I don't care what it takes, and that the reason he falls as mayor is because his vengeance to get to Daredevil and Bullseye is just that determining, like, hey, use whatever you need. And that's what's going to come back to bite him in the end. And ultimately, it was probably going to cost him his mayorness, or, again, a leak is going to happen, and they're going to know that, hey, Kingpin is still doing Kingpin stuff all the way through. So, yeah, again, another fun episode when it comes to Daredevil. Just not my favorite of the week. Next week, we probably will not... We'll likely not have a review for next week's episode. So in 2 weeks, we'll be back at it for maybe 2 episode reviews, maybe not, because I am going on vacation. I'm going to see my sister and hang out with her and catch up with her. And I want to give her as much time as possible. I think the only thing that I am allowed, well, not allowed, I'm allowed to watch all the stuff I want, but I think the only thing I'll have actual time to is for Michael, because she actually wants to see that movie as well. So, that review may be coming out next week, but yeah, for the most part, you probably won't hear from me at all next week, just because I will be doing that. But yeah, comment below, let me know your thoughts on Daredevil. I'm sure y'all loved it. A lot of people did, because I heard after I gave my thoughts. And comment below, let me know why you loved it so much. Again, I wish I had that same experience with you. Unfortunately, I just did not. Leave a like if you made this far with the review. I do greatly appreciate it. And hit that subscribe button, as I am trying to grow into my YouTube career. And don't forget to squeeze the days, guys, because life is too short not to give you also squeeze every opportunity that you can. Until next time, I'll see you here at Lemon Studios.